So some years ago, I came across this concept of a self-liquidating offer. It just blew my mind. I thought it was the coolest thing in terms of business and marketing, because what an SLO or self-liquidating offer, it allows you to get paid to acquire new customers or clients. It's like an amazing cheat code for the game of business. So get ready. We're going to break it down with examples and strategy analysis right now. Hi, my name is Matt Ackerson. I'm the founder and CEO of AutoGrow.co, in case you don't already know. And at AutoGrow, we've been in business nearly 13 years. I've been an entrepreneur myself and a marketer for over 17 years. And we do a lot of work with all kinds of businesses in all kinds of industries. But when I first discovered what a self-liquidating offer was, first off, really no one was really writing about it. So I had to write this article about it, defining it. And this was before there were many articles about sales funnels and related topics even out there, because I thought the idea of it just made logical sense. And yet at the same time, it was so powerful. So a self-liquidating offer allows you to get paid to acquire customers and clients. So what does that mean in practical terms? It means that you can put money in to ads specifically, and people will come through that funnel that you set up, and they will be at the end of that funnel paying more compared to if you had not made that paid offer at some point in that funnel. In other words, you're not just getting some email opt-ins to your email list and then maybe nurturing and building that into a relationship, which turns into a paid buyer-seller relationship. No, this is where you might be spending, say, $5 a piece to acquire each new person to your email list, but you're getting something greater than $5 back immediately. I can tell you from experience, we have this funnel that we are optimizing right now with our own SLO offer. And one of the tripwires that we've used in the past, so when I say tripwire, which we recorded another video about recently, if you're interested, go check that out. Another amazing concept. And it overlaps completely with self-liquidating offer. So a tripwire, if you're not familiar, it's usually some sort of low dollar value in terms of price, but not low value. For example, just to catalyze that buyer-seller relationship. The idea is that you are offering something of value at a low price because it's an easy decision. It might be an impulse buy, but it catalyzes that buyer seller, that customer relationship. But I can tell you from my experience, when I read initially about tripwires, put it into practice in 2018. So we sold over $13,000, but it wasn't about the $13,000. It was really more about building that relationship and then being able to earn the opportunity to upsell to something of a more premium price. That has led to hundreds of thousands of dollars, because today AutoGrow offers as its core offering a done-for-you digital marketing team all in one for a flat, affordable fee, 13 skill sets all in one package. And the price for that ranges from $600 a month up to $6,000. So even just one client for the business on that can be tens of thousands of dollars, because our clients, we offer a good service and our clients stay with us for a long period of time. And the skill sets that are included, if you're interested, are copywriting, design development, ads, strategy, and more. You just delegate and get it off your plate. But even in the short term, putting aside that core offering, we found in 2018, when we didn't have that core offering, that the average dollar value was about $40 a piece per customer, because we had that tripwire in our funnel, and then we would upsell people on other info digital products like our proven sales conversion pack, which is like a curated, compiled, and analyzed with training videos database of credible case studies with the capital C, because we went through them by hand, and a lot of them that are out there aren't credible in terms of data that people are presenting and claims they're making. So the idea is that if 1 in 20 people are coming and opting in for a lead magnet, or even if you just straight up selling the tripwire, it becomes a self-liquidating offer if the amount that is spent is on ads is even just 1 penny less than what is spent on average to acquire the customer. So if it costs $6 to acquire the customer, but they just spent $7, That's a self-liquidating offer because you paid for the ad spend to acquire that customer and it's immediately profitable. So it's a self-liquidating, liquid as in money, I suppose that's where it comes from, offer, because you're making an offer. Well, here's an example of a funnel diagram that we created for one of our clients at AutoGrow. And you can see here we have basically people coming in here on the left side. And this is an example too, of, if you're interested, of the type of strategy that we're able to give to our clients, and otherwise just kind of take the work that they would have to do of building it off their plate and give recommendations, and otherwise just execute on your marketing for you. The primary value of what we offer is about delegating and getting it off your plate so you can get more done and scale and grow faster. And it's an all-in-one team for a flat monthly fee. So people coming in here on the left side, traffic might come from Facebook or from Google. They arrive on a lead magnet landing page, something that is being given away for free, all right? And they opt in to get said lead magnet. And maybe you would have other factors in here like pop-up with maybe a different lead magnet or some sort of related offer, maybe some follow-up emails that work to bring people back to the core offer or even a tripwire later on. But the main thing to focus on here is ultimately where we want people to get to is to here, ideally, that would be like our core offer, but your self-liquidating offer or tripwire would go here, right after people opt in to the landing page. The context here is you just offered something they wanted and you've just given it to them. And this can be literal or figuratively speaking. Maybe it was just delivered to their inbox, but they haven't, consumed said value yet. So you could do this a couple different ways, and you could do this by having a video where you present said lead magnet, promised lead magnet, you kind of go through it and then you make the offer. Or you simply have some sort of a transition statement, a little bit of copy at the top of the page that says, everything you requested is on its way. And in the meantime, we think you might like this offer. And that's what we did with our swipe file tripwire in 2018 and 2019. And it's still floating around today, as I mentioned, but we don't really promote it that much. So then the idea is if you can get the conversion rate high enough on this thank you page, on this post opt-in page, then your cost of acquiring each individual customer, which again, it's not just about, the initial low ticket, low priced offer. It's about other products or your core service or product in your funnel that you ultimately want to build the relationship towards offering to people. It's about bringing your ad cost down. And then ultimately the goal is to get it to be ideally above the cost of what you would pay for ads on average. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty powerful. I mean, at a minimum, without not a ton of effort, this will realistically, for most markets, it's going to take time. In new markets, it's just what always happens, like 10 whatever years ago, it was social media. A lot of people didn't understand it, but it was the hype, it was the trend. And then as people become more educated over time, the market becomes more mature, the expectations of value are a bit higher, and people aren't so willing to just jump and buy anything. So generally speaking, for 99.9% of people and business owners watching this, we'll talk a lot more about AI coming up. So if you want to hear about it and my take as not just an entrepreneur, not just as a marketer and founder of a multi-million-dollar company, but as someone who has actually from scratch built AI, I encourage you to subscribe because we got some exciting stuff to go over. But yeah, so the idea is, you're bringing your cost down, and that by itself can be a huge win. Imagine acquiring customers, leads, clients for a fraction of what you are today using this technique, or at a minimum, building your email list significantly bigger at a significantly lower cost because you're immediately able to self-liquidate the cost of the ads that you would otherwise be spending there. So in terms of coming up with ideas for your own self-liquidating offers, you want to go think about like tripwires and have a good understanding of that because the two really go hand in hand. But a tripwire, a self-liquidating offer, it could be a lot of different things. I mean, if your lead magnet is valuable enough, you could take that free lead magnet and you could just start charging for it. There's this great story that I heard in the past from Andrew Warner, great guy, great entrepreneur, founder of Mixergy, has interviewed over 2,000 entrepreneurs and counting. Check check out his podcast on Spotify. And Andrew said that he used to go to this conference and he knew the conference owner, and all of the seats in the front row were always empty. And the speakers, they would try to encourage people to move to the front, and people just wouldn't want to do it because whatever, it was too close to the stage. They wouldn't want to get that close. And you remember back in high school, maybe sometimes people could pick their own seats or whatever in the classroom, and no one would want to sit in the front and be as close as possible to the teacher. So I suppose it was like that. Anyway, they did something counterintuitive. They just started charging people. They just put a price on the front row seats, and immediately the front row seats were filled because people were willing to pay for it just because a price was put on it. Interesting, right? So I bring up that example because I want you to not necessarily close your mind off to what it is you may have now in your mind or in reality in your funnel that is a lead magnet and think, oh, no, that's not valuable enough. When in reality, maybe it is. If you have a 30, 50 page ebook and it's filled with value, could you charge $7 for it? Give it a shot. Probably you could. It just matters whether or not the market recognizes that value and if they're willing to pay the price. If they are, great. There's your tripwire and potentially your self-liquidating offer. And here's one more example of a company, brand, and an entrepreneur who has succeeded with a self-liquidating offer. So Mike Dillard, maybe you've heard of him, maybe you haven't. Mike is a consultant, business coach, entrepreneur, and podcaster. What he did for his self-liquidating offer was he had a $29 ebook, and the ebook was titled Magnetic Sponsoring: How to Attract Endless New Prospects and Team Members to You Automatically. So he sold this ebook for $29 and sold more than 100,000 copies. And he even partnered with another business. They used Mike's book as a tripwire, and they said, okay, you just pay shipping and handling for $7.95. I've seen Russell Brunson and others use a similar funnel. The book is free, but okay. You pay $8 and you get a book shipped to you plus these other bonuses. And again, just like with Mike and just like with your funnel, for Mike's company, the win was that he had a base of people who had spent money with him, and this helped him to build his financial education company, the Elevation Group, with a client base of over 50,000 in 60 different countries, and many of those people having bought his flagship product for nearly $2,000, which comes out to about $100 million in revenue. So again, the idea is that it's possible to have a partially self-liquidating offer, and that's usually going to be where you start. Like you first launch a campaign and you're either upselling this or you're offering it as a standalone, and maybe you're just driving people to that landing page and making the offer directly, because those are the two really types of ways that you can offer this within your funnel. It can be a standalone, or it can be what you might call a sneak attack, where I don't really like that term necessarily. If you have a better term, you want to suggest it, go ahead and leave a comment. Love to hear your ideas. But the sneak attack, for lack of a better term, is, people opt in and then it's on the thank you page, because then again, you're catalyzing that customer relationship. Now, if you'd like to learn more about self-liquidating offers, I encourage you to go ahead and click the link in the description if you're watching this on YouTube, or just scroll down if you're watching this on our website. And if you would like more valuable content like this, please be sure to like, subscribe, and also subscribe, not just on YouTube, but to our email list as well. So let me know what you think. Let me know how you're doing in business right now and how you see self-liquidating offers potentially fitting in. I'd love to hear from you. So until next time, keep auto growing and stay focused. I'll see you in the next video.